Good, cool.
I'm Cutter with Fred the dog. Alright, Fred the dog anyway.
He looks like a Muppet.
He does look like a Muppet.
He does, look.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think. That's it.
It's a hard to dog on the
Nah, he grew up on this bus.
I'm Cutter hanging with Sid, number 0 from Slipknot, otherwise, of course, DJ Starscream, which is why we're talking to you tonight, actually, because you're doing a solo DJ set.
Yeah.
Is this something you do a lot?
Yeah.
When
I mean,
Slipknot's
I've
doing
been
stuff?
DJing since like 91, 92.
Okay.
So I mean, I've been before Slipknot was a band. So
Right.
I mean, I've been DJing parties and clubs and wherever, really, any style of music, every style of music.
Sure.
For years. I don't want to ever stop doing it. I don't think, man. It's fun. I just enjoy it a lot. My family's from England as well, so it's like a big part of music over there. DJs are, and that's like you hear DJs on the radio as much as you do all the bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you'll hear jungle tracks and dubstep tracks or house tracks, techno tracks.
I get dubstep, and I get techno. Explain jungle to me.
Jungle, it's before drum and bass. Drum
Okay.
and bass is basically the same thing. Jungle basically came out of like breakbeat and maybe like fast breakbeats would be in like hardcore and gabber techno, which was like a fast techno that just had a solid kick drum, boom, 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 but really distorted and loud, and like they would sample a lot of guitars and other heavier stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then once in a while, it'd go into like a fast breakbeat, and then they kind of just took like a lot of deep bass from like reggae music, and then added it to the fast breakbeat, and then had a lot of reggae samples and sampling old reggae tracks or whatever, and then mimicking some of those bass lines, but then taking them further with keyboards and any kind of LFOs or anything that they had on board to manipulate the sound. I don't know, ever since then I was just kind of stuck on it, because I used to play. I actually used to play the breaks off hardcore records with breakbeat records that I would play on 45 instead of 33.
Okay.
So that it would be fast.
Right.
And then it was almost like I was like searching for jungle, and then all of a sudden I didn't have production equipment back then, so it was just all DJing. And then before long there was just a section called jungle. I was like, what is that? And listened to it, and I was like, whoa! Like I've been searching for that for a long time. It's just that through the whole record. Yeah, and then I think what happened is a lot of parties in the UK. Jamaicans were coming to the parties, and Jamaican gangsters, and they were bringing guns with them and whatever. And I guess what happened is there was some violence that would happen they would get excited.
Right.
It's like if a really badass jungle DJ got on, he would play something like amazing that had like a really old school like reggae track that they recognized, but like some street kind of stuff, and they would get excited and maybe like shoot their gun at the ceiling or something, and the next thing you know, you got like raver kids running everywhere and like screaming, and it was bad for the scene, like as you could say.
Right.
And which was a shame, because the music was so amazing.
So are you afraid that a Jamaican gangster's going to show up at one of your shows and shoot?
No, absolutely not. Like, I'd encourage it, actually. They could show up and check it out, It wasn't necessarily they were like starting fights or anything. It was just, it was scaring a lot of these kids that were going to the parties, and their attendance was going down because of it. So it was hurting their pockets.
Right. That's understandable. Money is the root. So how did it end up as a DJ to end up in a metal band like Slipknot?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I didn't expect it, I guess. You never do. I mean, you never expect anything how it turns out, I guess. But yeah, it seemed right. I mean, I don't know. When they approached me, I went to some practices and was hanging out with them here and there. I'd known Paul from a bar he worked at previously, and after I saw him play live, it was kind of like what sealed it for me when I saw the live show finally. Because I was like, oh, I'm just going to join them if I haven't seen like the live show or anything. Right. I'd listened to the CD and like the Mate Feed Kill Repeat. I'd been taking that home with me and trying to come up with scratch parts to stuff and whatever, and gone to some practices, and they were feeling me out. And I went to the show, and I used to be into a lot of punk rock when I was younger. So when they came out, and there's like the look and the vibe and the feel, and I was like, man, this is punk rock. Like, it's heavy metal, but to me, it's punk rock.
Right.
It's just the whole vibe and attitude.
There's such a crossover between punk and metal, though.
Yeah, there is, but there's a big difference for me in the social and the politics involved with all of
yeah,
that.
but
Because like for me, it's like a lot of metal is for the respective community and life and society is a lot wilder and looser and savage. Like it's very it's the evilest of all of it. You know what I mean? Where punk rock still has kind of like this wanting to build a society built on of washing each other's back, I guess you could say, the original terms of anarchy or whatever.
Right.
So it's like when you get the cross of those two together, it's like it's kind of a controlled chaos.
Imagine. What kind of bands were you
But
listening
that's why I liked them so much, was that punk rock feel.
Right.
And it was Clown came down on Tattered and Torn. He used to come down in the crowd all the time and like rough kids up and wrap the mic around him and drag him across the floor and stuff. So he decided he was going to come after me since it was my first show.
Right.
Coincidentally enough, it was the show that Ross Robinson had come to see the band.
Okay.
I didn't even know who he was, you know,
Right.
so I didn't even know he was there or whatever. But we're like really good friends now, so. But Clown came down and was coming down off the stage, and I could tell he was coming for me. Like, he's just kind of, I could see him looking at me through the mask, you know. He's like, and the song starts, he's like, kill me, and it's like, just craziness, you know.
Right.
And Easy Bud. And so before he could even get off the stage, I just started like leapfrogging people like to get to the front, and I grabbed him by his head and I just headbutted. I started headbutting him. Bam, 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 bam. I got him 6 times before he pushed me away, and coincidentally enough was his number 6.
Right.
And so I didn't get the 7th one, and he fell down and like crawled back. He said he almost knocked, and one more he would have passed out.
Oh wow.
So he went back to Joey, I guess, and told Joey, he said, I don't give a fuck what anybody's.
That's all right. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. God invented beat tones.
I don't give a what anybody says. That guy's in. That guy's in the band.
Nice. Did the suits, masks? I mean, was that a turn on or turn off? I mean, you know, and obviously live, that's got to be hot as hell.
Yeah, absolutely, super hot. Especially if you're being very active,
right,
such as myself, you know.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen a Slipknot show, this guy doesn't stay in one spot ever.
Yeah, unless my feet are broke. Well, even then, I'm still crawling around
doing army crawls.
So I'd pull a wheelchair in the Clown's set, and then grab on it and pull me out of the wheelchair, and I'd do pull-ups while spinning around.
I saw that.
With broken feet.
I saw that, actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. That was what, like,
4 years ago?
07, 08?
4 years ago? First Mayhem?
Yeah.
The first Mayhem tour.
Did you think about sitting down, or did you...
No,
obviously
absolutely not.
Okay.
No. I had a broken leg before when I was younger from a motorcycle accident. It was right when I had convinced all my friends to like run away from home and go to Colorado and be snowboard bums. And we were all going to be snowboard bums, and I was going to DJ as like a hobby and like try to get a gig and like.
Sure.
But we wanted to be pro snowboarders. We're like, so I broke my leg in a motorcycle accident, and then everyone dipped to Colorado, and I was just stuck in Iowa with a broken leg. So my dad put wooden horses up, like sawhorses, and put a door up, a wood door, and put my turntables up there. So I'd come down the stairs in my crutches and get in a wheelchair, and I'd put it under the tables and practice DJing every day. So I didn't have anything else to do, you know.
It's like, I've never seen anything like just hanging on to that drum riser while it's rising up, spinning around. Yeah. Just insane.
It's just dangerous too.
Oh,
it's metal on metal, scissor lift, so it spins. But it's metal on metal, it's hydraulic. So if you're a limb, a finger, a leg, arm, anything gets in there,
right?
It's metal on metal. It's gonna shave it right off. Like,
Those dangerous thoughts must not cross your mind on stage, I'm assuming, for you
No,
guys.
you can't. Yeah, you don't ever get scared, because that's when it all goes wrong.
Since we're obviously talking about the craziness of a Slipknot show, when you guys, obviously they were doing some of that before you joined, but then when you guys got bigger, obviously off self-titled, and the mayhem that ensues, especially off that first couple of tours
I started
from a
setting people
Slipknot
on
show.
fire.
I remember being shown a video of
Clown and Chris were lighting a drum on fire.
Jesus
But it was all like like this little flame, and I was like, for real? I'm like, come on, you guys ever play with lighter fluid before? Like, so so I ran over and I get it from him, and I'm like, and it's just like, way better.
Yeah.
Like, looked like way more like hell on earth or something, like really doused it on there, and it went. So they're like this, so then I just squirt myself with it, and I light myself on fire, and then I squirt Clown and I give him a big hug, and it all just got really stupid from that point on. I was like, we did the first Ozfest, and they're like, no stage diving, no one's allowed to stage dive, no crowd surfing, the bands aren't allowed to do it. They want lawsuits and whatever.
Right.
I was still doing it. And then, so I think a couple people got in trouble for it, but no one had said anything to me yet. And then we were doing a show. It was one, I can't remember what city it was, but Sharon came up to watch us on the, on the side of the
Here's
stage.
The
and I'm like, and someone was like, Sharon wants to talk to you. And I was like, oh, this is it. She's going to tell me, I can't be doing that, and, I got to stop and whatever, and I'm going to have to be I'm gonna have to get in trouble or something and do it, and I don't know, all this stuff running through my head, do I just do it anyways, or she's really cool, they're always really nice to me, so I go over there and she's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just really excited for this show, I can't wait. And she's like, good. She's like, you go out there and you do whatever the F you want, you do whatever the F your heart desires.
Nice.
So I got the okay from her
Nice.
on Ozfest to go nuts, and that was kind of another thing too. It's just the realization of you can go nuts, and no one's gonna tell you off for it. Really, everyone's just embracing it.
What was it like for you guys? Because obviously you did the side stage, Ozfest your first time around, and then coming back a few years later and doing the main stage as one of the headliners.
Yeah, I mean, main stage is all right, but it's a lot of the venues, they have a small pit in the front,
right,
and that's all seats,
mm-hmm.
and then the crazy people are in the back at the field, so it just makes my job harder, because then I gotta run all the way up there to find the crazies, and get it on with them for a minute. So it was the main stage is awesome, though. I mean, to be able to share the stage with Sabbath and all those people, I mean, and everyone that was on that stage is amazing. I'm never gonna regret that ever in my life. And be able to watch them every night from the side of the stage, and
right.
And any of these legendary, iconic bands. I didn't think when I was a kid I'd be sure. I loved the Beastie Boys, so I was thinking oh, I'll be on Rap Tour every day or
right.
something for when I get older, and instead it was a lot of bands that I actually did grow up listening to,
right.
Maiden
mm-hmm.
or Sabbath or any of them. I mean,
what's
Primus? Shit.
What's
Primus.
as a DJ?
Primus.
Good,
I remember when they played Lollapalooza, they came through Des Moines, and I jumped off the stage 7 times. I kept getting back on the stage and stage diving. It was a show where they threw leave it to Iowa for the weird stuff, because someone hit them with a pig foot, I think it was. They're throwing pig parts on the stage, real pig parts, real pig's feet and ears and stuff. And he got really upset. And it was when they were doing the pork soda stuff, and he was really mad about it, because I think it hit him or something. And he was like, if another person throws a thing on stage, we're leaving, we're getting off the stage, or something like that. But I remember it was the last time I jumped off the stage, the security guard grabbed my ankle in mid-flight, and pulled me down, and my face slammed on the barricade, and it man, it hit me so hard, I just and I remember he grabbed me and put me down, and I didn't know what was up or down or anything. And he's like, last time. Because he kept telling me not to be diving
Every
anymore.
time.
Like on the third one, he was like, don't do that again. But yeah, he was like, last time. I remember. It was hilarious.
Sid, thank you so much for taking the time to talk.
Absolutely.
I greatly appreciate it.
SidTheThird.com. Keep up with me.